What's up, y'all? Hey, it's your boy Jamali, aka Jam Art, aka the one and only Jamaali with an invisible Z on the end. Because I know a lot of y'all have pronunciation issues with that. Anyways, what's up? Hi. So I'm here to talk to you about a little thing that I love called art and how it's been evolved into the technical space into the form of NFTs. Uh, this is a short little talk just to inform you about what I've been doing, some of my process, and some of my goals and tips for this NFT space, for cryptocurrency, and for the new world that's constantly unfolding. So let's just get to it. NFTs stands for non-fungible token. I'm gonna explain what that means in a little bit here, but they've been around for some time, almost as old as Bitcoin, but not so much. They kind of started off with the crypto kitties and also this other piece called Time, which is a Bitcoin NFT. It's like one of the older ones. Super cool, super old, but as you can see, it's grown and progress into a billion-dollar industry. There's so many artists, there's so many projects out, there's a lot going on. I personally got involved in the fall of 2021. And so ever since then, I've kind of been in a big old rabbit hole of just information, art, and understanding how to create wealth and trade and invest my money, as well as build my network as an artist. So NFTs have been great for me for that, and I wanted to share my process with y'all. Let's go. Clear that bad boy out. Bam. Okay, so my art. This is my art. Lately, this is my art. I do illustrations and drawings and paintings about Black life, the Black experience, what that looks like in all its various forms. I like cannabis. I like beautiful women. I like psychedelic art. I like patterns, and I love satirical things as well. So like stuff in the line of Saturday Night Live, but not necessarily that. I'm just like, I like things making fun of things that are already popular, right? It's kind of meta. Um, no pun intended for metaverse. So I also like spliffs as well. So that's something. Now, here's my NFT collection. I don't know if you guys can see this. I think my face can move. Okay, so Ghetto Granny up here. This was my first NFT collection. Super awesome. I learned about it on YouTube from a guy named Rico, and he flips shoes. He flips a lot of cool stuff. He has a great YouTube channel. Y'all should check him out. But I found out about Ghetto Granny Club, and from there it just rocketed. I found out about other Solana NFTs, and Solana is another blockchain. I got into pixel art a lot more. I won some stuff. This is a piece that I won from my bro Supreme Art Dealer. I also found some other cool pixel stuff on other blockchains. This is up here. This is Pixelverse. This is from the Tezos marketplace, and they have a whole slew of artists from South Asia, actually all over the world. It's been great to just be able to connect with folks all over the world. So right now, I don't have a huge portfolio, but I do have a lot of things that and images that I actually care about and wouldn't mind keeping until the end of time, right? So I think that's part of it for me. So NFTs, again, back to it. What does it mean? They are one-of-a-kind assets in the digital world that can be bought and sold like any other piece of property, right? But they have no tangible form of their own, kind of like the squishy wrist thing I have. It's fungible, it's tangible, but NFTs are not. But because they are digital tokens, the possibilities are endless. So some people use them for for art. Some people use them as a way to trade. Some people use them for so much. The possibilities are endless, but I'll get to that here in a moment. Now, why am I talking about this? What is important about it? Well, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and cryptocurrency, again, they've been around for the better part of the decade. And so as the use cases have expanded, people have adopted them more. And now we're kind of at a critical point where Web 2, as it's called, such as Instagram and Amazon and like the kind of mainstay websites that we use, they're becoming a little crowded, they're centralized, and we're realizing that they don't really have the best of the consumer or the user at hand. They're really all about data, right? So NFTs are great because they sit on three pillars along with the rest of cryptocurrency, and that's decentralization, transparency, and immutability, right? So decentralization, real quick, is a blockchain. And the blockchain, I'll get to that in a second here, is the reason decentralization is important is because a blockchain is distributed, which is a public ledger, and that stores information. That blockchain is hosted on several nodes or computers that all have identical copies of the ledger, right? So the original form. These copies are regularly updated. And what's also important about this is that they're not in one spot. So it's not like you have a big old Amazon hub full of servers. It's like my house and then maybe my neighbor's house and then probably somebody over in China. And then all over the world, you got these nodes or computers that are helping build the network, right? So also it's transparent. So transparency for cryptocurrency means that all the information and including the transactions between the users is stored on the public ledger, right? So on the blockchain. And the system is completely transparent. So that means I can click a link and see what has been going on. So that transparency aspect makes it pretty much impossible to fake transactions or to engage in any sort of shady business. And it forces a level of honesty that we have never been required to participate in, right? So it's just throw your information out there. You might see where it go, but like here, if you're purchasing something or you're making a trade, you're gonna know where it will be in the future, and I mean eventually, and where it has come from in the past. So I think that's very pertinent to this new world. So immutability, the last aspect of cryptocurrency, it is essentially that information stored on the blockchain or on the system is tamper-proof, and you can't fiddle with the information without getting caught. So that means if I say I'm wearing this hat, can't nobody sell this hat but me. And if somebody sells this hat and they say it's from me, you can look it up and say, oh shit, he's got the tag on the inside there. Like this is the official tag somewhere in there, that's in there. That means Jam Art made that. But if that tag ain't there, which is what the ledger shows, then it'll be like, oh, well, you didn't make that. You just copy pasted that, and that's not even cool. I don't even care. You're a rug. You're a scam. So being immutable, being transparent, and being decentralized is what makes NFTs and cryptocurrency so powerful in a world where everything is centralized and everything is, who are you? What are you? Give me that data. Here, it's like, it's trustless in that way. All right, moving on. Let's keep them pushing. So again, the basics of crypto. I already talked about it a little bit, so I'm not going to spend too much time on here, but the blockchain, right? So the blockchain is kind of this idea. You got multiple squares or multiple nodes, and you have one node, and it reaches out to the network, sends it through Morpheus, because you need to either be down with the red pill or take the blue pill. Either way, either pill you take is going to be transferred to another computer, and that computer is going to read the information, build on top of that information, keep it pushing, keep it moving to the next one. And then you, as the user, you're not a computer, but you can see the actual transactions here. So a blockchain is a digital public ledger that records and stores information on different transactions across a system of computers. Again, so what I just was explaining is a system of computers, Imagine like your hands are here, and like, of course they're on two different hands and they're on the same body, but imagine they're not on the same body. Like everybody's like sending energy and like sending data to each other. So just think of it like that. But as think of it like joints. Like this joint can't move without this joint. So this joint, if my finger kept going on forever, it would be a connective joint tissue. I hope that metaphor makes sense. And if not, it's okay. There's more to learn. So again, NFTs are one-of-a-kind assets in the digital world that can be bought and sold like any other piece of property, right? Just like this lighter. Not an endorsement, but you can buy this lighter, you can sell this lighter if you wanted to. People do it all the time. You go to the grocery store and they're engaging in that, right? So they're non-tangible, but they're fungible. So that means you can trade them with people, and that's a big part of it. The cryptocurrency part of NFTs is the transaction method, right? So easiest way to say it is you take an image, for example, you put it on the blockchain. Now, when it goes on the blockchain, it's encoded cryptographically, right? So it's got secret code that it's going to be hard for a human to figure out. But in order to purchase that, you have to be on the blockchain. Now, different blockchains have different native tokens. Ethereum, for example, is one of the biggest and largest blockchains and tokens as far as market cap value goes, as far as like how much money is in it right now at the current state of this video, is one of the biggest. And so if I were to post my image on the Ethereum blockchain, I would need to use Ether, which is the native token, in order to sell it, or in order to purchase it, or in order to pay for the fees, in order to like do these network transactions. That's what's really happening here. You're doing network transactions, and somebody's gonna have to pay for like the technology behind it. So that's what kind of things come into play. But just know that you're playing for network transactions, and you're using a native token on each different blockchain to pay for these transactions, right? So just think about it as using the dollar. You can't use a Canadian dollar in America. It has a different value, right? So if you were to use Bitcoin on Ethereum, it has a different value. So you have to be able to swap it. You have to like do all these kind of technical things, but that's the basis of it, right? And some of the bigger coins that are out there are Bitcoin, one of the first, Ethereum, a major player right now. 2021 was a major Ethereum year. XRP, Algorand, Cardano. Now, not all of these, and all these are networks, right? So they are programs in their apps, and they're meant to do different things. Some are marketplaces, some are allow like the middleware and allow things to be transacted. So different tokens, different blockchains, different networks. There's thousands of them. You got to figure out which one's best for you, and maybe just start off with the big ones because they are already kind of grandfathered in. There's plenty of users, plenty of knowledge, and plenty of information to be gained on those. All right, let's keep it moving. So NFTs, what can you do with them? Utility, that's the name of the game. I should probably like write this out, but I won't. I'm gonna keep it clean up here. Utility. People want to be able to use their stuff, you know. On average, most NFTs, as they're gonna cost you a few $100 from the start date. Now, prices change all over the place, and it's a really volatile market. But just say, starting off, you spend $200 on something. Normally, you spend $200 on something, you expect it to give you something, but that already comes like baked in. Like you buy a TV on Black Friday, you already know that it's probably got like Netflix on it, and it's got some other smart things, and you can probably like Bluetooth your speaker to it, right? That's utility. Now, when it comes to NFTs and to cryptocurrency, that same kind of like psychological marketing comes into play, because you have an image as I showed you earlier, and there are these little squares, but it's like, okay, well, what does that do? Does it, and the beauty of it is that it can be anything. Again, like the possibilities are super endless with NFTs. And so let's just talk about some of these. Some can just be art, right? And so there, you like art, you want to collect art. Are you a big collector? Are you a small collector? You have a favorite artist? This is a great way to just have their art digitally without it being printed out, something like that. We have digital land and real estate in the real life. So groups like Lofty.ai and the Sandbox, a real estate and a play to earn game, respectively, they have the ability for you, they're giving you the ability to buy land on their network, right? It's like a digital plot of land. And you can build out activities on there. You can have games. You can invite other people who are playing the game to your space in order to earn a profit, because you're kind of like utilizing that space to engage with folks. There's games, there's play to earn games, which mean that say you buy an NFT, or you don't even have to buy an NFT, but you are a player in this game, and the more activities you do and the more like you engage, and like the more you win these tokens, right? You win the native token to that blockchain. And then with that, you can buy in-game items the same way you would like have a Fortnite skin or something like that. The only difference here is that it's actually owned by you, because of the blockchain, because of the ledger, and because you've used cryptocurrency to pay for it. It's in your wallet, right? So I'll talk about what wallets are in a second, but that's what that means. So we got games. This could also include gambling, slots. There's a lot going on here, and they don't have to be like the biggest games, because technically it's not possible right now. Then the network load is just not able to handle it. So a lot of the games are pixelated. A lot of the games have that like that retro feel to them. But I think understandably, as I get through some of these other utilities, you'll see like, okay, well, even in their younger stages, they still have a lot of possibilities. So games, we got community access. Now, this is a big thing. We've seen this with like the Bored Ape Yacht Club and several other groups, but basically they're like, yo, if you buy into this NFT project at X price, you're going to get, as long as you hold on to this NFT, you get access to this party. You can come hang out in this chat room. You're going to get free merchandise off of this, and maybe you'll get a sticker, or I don't know, whatever, and you get the clout and shit like that. You know what I mean? So being able to have that access is like, it's like my brain says NFT Illuminati, but it's not that deep. So just rock with that. Just know it's an exclusive group. I mean, think about it like a club in college where you're just like, yo, if you're in it, you know what's up. And if you're on the outside, you know, you may want to be in it too, but it may not be your world. So I think it's just, what do you like? What do you want? Do you want that community or not? Also, people flip NFTs. They make money out of it. It is an investment. It is currency. So people are all about this cool duck image that's coming out. Oh man, it's got like 40 different types of smoking things and like 6 different hats and a bunch of colors. So many variations. There's probably going to be like 4,000 at least of these. Someone says, hey, I'm going to buy up a bunch of them on the cheap end right when they come out. I know everybody's going to want them. And then I'm going to sell them bad boys for a little bit higher, right? Making buku dollars. It's risky, but it's happening. People are out here flipping these NFTs, getting paid. Okay? So it could be whatever you want. I mean, I think there's a lot of mixed use cases. So this is why the squiggly line is here. There's a lot of mixed use cases as for what you can get into, what the access and what the utility means. They could just be trading images. They could have all these like gaming aspects to them. There's so much. It's literally whatever you want. It could be an access to merchandise, right? And so that moves on to like this next idea of like having special passes and having like, okay, so if you buy my Yellow Duck NFT, all of the, and I have a coffee house called Yellow Duck Coffee, you know, every time you come in, you only had to pay like $1 for a coffee because you paid like $100 or $250 for a year's like pass, right? So things like that, right? So you're able to package stuff in, you're able to bundle stuff in, you're able to bake things into your project and say, yo, it's not just this image, it can be so much more. And I think the last one I want to talk about is like staking. And so that's basically saying, I have this NFT, I have this image, I have whatever asset it is. And now as a holder of it, I'm going to stake it or like let it sit on the blockchain without like selling it, trading it, or nothing. And because it's hanging out there, it's going to gain interest. And sometimes you can gain native tokens just by letting your thing sit, just by staking your NFTs. So, I mean, the possibilities are crazy as far as like making money with it and as far as like using it as an investment tool. So just keep that in mind. All right, so let's get into how do I even NFT? First off, you're gonna need to realize you got some payments that you're gonna want to process, and you're gonna want to keep them in your wallets, fannies packs, whatever. But the difference is there is a hot storage and there's cold storage. Now, cold storage would be like is not connected to the internet. Hot storage is connected to the internet, plain and simple. Cold storage would be like things like ledgers, your safe, like an actual physical safe, a lockbox, something like that, right? And so then we talk about hot storage, which would be examples such as like MetaMask wallet or Soulflare or Exodus wallet. And these are for different blockchains, but what matters is that some of these blockchains have online interfaces where you can store and keep your cryptocurrency, but some of the best ways to store your cryptocurrency is offline. So you stick in a little USB port or whatever the application is, and you download your cryptocurrency to that cold storage. And then that way it's not at risk of being like, oh, you clicked the wrong link on freaking Instagram and now someone's got like your whole wallet. Like it's removed, although it's still like it keeps the amount that you have. And even if the price goes up, it's still the same amount, but it is not accessible to the internet and you can't just like jump on there and trade with it and stuff like that. Now, there are apps and there are like ways to do that, but that's the basis behind cold storage and hot storage, right? And so hot storage, they're online, cold storages are offline. It's key to have both because you want to be as secure as possible, right? And so when you have these wallets, then you're able to make purchases, then you're able to make payments, then you're able to trade because, again, it's non-fungible, it's all digital. So you have to be able to make these transactions in the digital space, and that's what these wallets provide. So a few key things here. When you're setting up your hot wallet, it's going to ask you for a key phrase or a security phrase, which will be anywhere from like 12 to 8 or 20 words, right? So whatever you do, I'm gonna look straight at you. Whatever you do, don't share this with nobody. People have told me this so many times. It doesn't matter. Don't share it with nobody, like anybody. You never know. As trustless as this whole blockchain thing is, and as like fun and like community is, keep your head on straight. Don't go crazy. Don't go tell your best friend your security phrase because he's like, yo, I'm gonna buy a Bored Ape for you. Don't do it. Keep that thing safe. So when you do initiate your hot wallet or your cold wallet, and it does give you the option to note down your security phrase, what you're gonna do is 1, pull out a piece of paper. 2, look at the screen where your security phrase is. 3, write down your security phrase on that piece of paper. 4, proofread that security phrase on the piece of paper. 5, delete whatever, or like just click, make sure you have that paper stored somewhere safe, laminate it, put it in your safe. I don't know where you keep your secret things, but wherever you keep them, make sure that's there and that it is secure, because once you lose that phrase, you can't get it back, bruh. You're gonna probably have to I mean, at best, you might be able to pay a hacker to get it done for you, but that's like 2% chance. The stuff is immutable, bro. So please just be safe, be careful, write it down. Don't, I mean, maybe your significant other, maybe they can see it. But again, you guys have to be on the same page. You got to be on the same page. Just keep it safe, ending it there. All right. So again, your wallet's going to be important. You can shop and find different NFTs, different products on marketplaces such as OpenSea, AB2 Gallery, CNFT, NFT Jam. Oh my God, Nifty. There's literally like 50 to 60 solid marketplace sites right now where you can get your NFTs and trade them. It's pretty awesome. All right. So again, now that goes to where to look. I just named a few galleries that are gonna be a good place to start. And if you are on a budget, make sure you click them things and and sort them by low to high. You know what I mean? You don't have to buy the most expensive NFT. You don't have to buy the most expensive one in the project. If you just want to get involved and you just want to like try the process out, go find a cheap one. Like I am constantly posting like rad cheap stuff on my Twitter account. Because I think it's important. Not everyone out here is like balling with like $4,000 of liquidity. And if you are, you know, bless you. I'll be there soon. But it's like, I think we have to like consider the small men, right? So, and small women here who are starting out and getting their things rolling. So what are we looking for out here? We're looking for cool beanies. We're looking for cool art. We're looking for whatever you like, bro. If you like crocheted stuff and you see someone has crochet work that they're selling, but it's like, it also comes with a physical piece and you love that stuff and it's $20, yo, you should get that and you should like support them and you should feel comfortable in that. I think the key here is you don't want to FOMO in. And FOMO is a key term for the crypto world. It means fear of missing out. I felt it. We're all going to feel it. It's human. We want to be involved in stuff. But the thing is, you can't be an emotional trader like that. You have to keep your bearings. So what does that mean? That means if you see a project sell out within 3 hours and you've been watching it for the past week, don't get mad. Yo, like just understand that probably some of those items will be on sale soon. Also, you can probably buy them like a month down the line and maybe the price won't go up. Two, there's like a zillion more projects out there in the world, so you don't have to get really caught up on that. And then lastly, with FOMO, there's like a lot of giveaways. There's a lot of community activity. There's a lot of just like free stuff out there. So never feel like you missed out on like the best thing in the world, because there's plenty of awesome free stuff out there, right? So again, back to what are we looking for? You're going to want to research. You're going to want to research, and you're going to want to even do more research. Like, you don't have to spend hours at a time like I do. I'm an art nerd. You don't have to be that, but you should spend like at least 5 minutes clicking through websites, clicking through Twitter pages, clicking through the project's team to understand and verify for yourself that you have a higher chance of not losing your money by investing in this, because you know who they are and because they have credibility and they have experience and they have whatever it may be. Now, a lot of people are anonymous on Web3 and on cryptocurrency spaces. That's okay. That's fine. You can be too, but you should know that don't just go jumping into projects because you feel like you're going to miss out or you think it's like the newest, coolest thing. Like, just give it some time, and there's no, you just give it time. Be patient. Now, also with that, like, oh, how do you should start small. Said that. Don't make purchases that you can't live with them going to zero. So say if I bought this image of this sweet like beanie bird, then like if I bought this at $200, then like next week that whole project flops, meaning that it goes down to zero and it's worth nothing, like I would be happy having this. I would not be mad that I bought this. And that's okay. But you should also try and make those decisions early so that you don't have to, you want to be responsible. This is money we're talking about here. And even though it's non-fungible and it's digital, it's still your money. It's still an investment. You got to be responsible. Don't just throw it to the wind, because it ain't about that. It's about being responsible out here. So again, when you're looking for stuff, does it have utility? Can I put it into use in the future? Will it make my life better or someone else's life better? Are they donating to charity? Like what? Or is it just rad? Do I like this beanie and I'm a beanie guy? Like, is it me? Like, is it me? Like, that's another thing that people buy for, right? So, and again, this last bit I'm gonna talk about is alpha, and alpha is the equivalent of like hot new information. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not really sipping the tea, as it's not so much drama filled. It's more like, yo, what's coming out? What's gonna be popping? Who's got the next project? And like, who's the artist? Who's the team? Like, what's the utility? Like, is it gonna go crazy or not? Like, am I gonna be able to flip it or not? Like, that's alpha. That's the mind state. And so you want to be in that. You want to like kind of have that edge of like, oh yeah, what's new? What's hot? Can I get in it? But you don't want to live by that, especially as you're starting. It's not about that. It's all about like figuring out where you can fit in as a collector. All right. So I gotta wrap this up soon, y'all. All right, so tips for security. Actually, I don't mind this being kind of long, because you know what? This needs to be long. This is gonna, for some of y'all, this is gonna be the beginning of a journey that is gonna take up so much of your life. And hopefully it doesn't really take up a whole bunch of your life. But if it does, then I want you to be prepared, and I want you to like have some knowledge and have a resource base, because it's so important. Like, again, this is your money. This is your money. You earned it. You worked for it, or you passively gained it. Don't let it just slide through your fingers. Hold on to it. Now, I'm going to talk about a quick term. No, I'm not even going to go there yet. Let's stay on track. Boom. So tips for security. Here we have what we call a shady mofo. This is 80% of the people on the internet. I don't know if they have glasses on, but it's probably like block Blu-ray lights or whatever, you know. They're tapping. Keyboard warriors. So you're gonna want to watch out for spam, right? So say you're in a Discord, which is a chat room. They will DM you, direct message you, and say, hey, you got the whitelist. We're meaning the early entry to buy this new NFT project. Click our link, see what's up, send us some money. Don't do that, because they take your money, bro. So I clicked on a few. Thankfully, I wasn't even like liquid enough to make it go through, and I didn't lose any money. But good Lord, y'all, please just don't click on everything. If it looks too good to be true, it might be. Like, go to the official links on the Discord, go to the official links on the Twitter. Don't play around with that. Like, make sure the spelling is done. Like, really, you're putting yourself through like a college level of like of research, because you have to do it. If you don't, you'll lose your money. If you go off someone else's idea, there's a higher possibility that you'll lose your money. Trust yourself. Trust your skills. I believe in you. Moving on. Do your own research. I said it again. I'll say it again. Do your own research. Everything I'm saying, I've friggin' researched. Everything I've done, I've been through. This is my experience, y'all, and I want y'all to have a great time out here in this NFT world. Just look at stuff. Just don't short yourself. Just go look at a website. Go look at their Instagram. Just browse their Discord for half a second. You don't have to stay in forever, but just get an understanding that what you're going to be into is not just going to run away from you like a prom date who hated you. You know what I mean? You want the longevity. You want those creators to build on other projects. You want to be a part of that community. So don't get click crazy. Don't do spam. Do your own research. Protect your password and seed phrase. I already said this once. I'm going to say it again. Don't share it with nobody. Just don't. Now, there are times where giveaways and stuff and raffles may happen. Now, what you're going to want to do in that case is if you've set up a wallet, a crypto wallet, a digital one, usually a hot wallet, they have the option for you to create multiple accounts. Now, with those accounts, say one you use like as a storage. Now, the other is a burner account. Burner account, same as a burner phone. You toss it out there, you pick it up. Hey, it breaks, whatever. It cost me 30 bucks. But again, this is money we're talking about here, actual money that you invested in and earned. So with that said, you do want to make sure that you have a burner account just ready to go. Yeah, you know what I mean? So say somebody's like, yo, I'm giving away some stuff and maybe they're not the biggest project. You don't want to put in your main account address, which is going to be a long string of numbers and letters. You don't want to put that in because somebody could just come in and scoop and copy paste it into like the address scanner and say, oh, look, you got like 42 Bitcoin in your wallet. I'm totally going to take that, or I'm totally going to like scam and spam you. Yeah, I mean, like, so just use a burner wallet when you're making purchases and stuff. Just send some money over to that wallet, enough to cover the fees and whatever purchase you're doing. And then just have that be separate than whatever else you have. You can always send your NFTs back and forth to different wallets. So that's not a problem, but just try and use a burner wallet when you're purchasing things. It'll help you out. Now, whitelist does not mean free mint. Whitelist means that you get on the pre-sale list, basically. So a project is dropping next week. They say we're giving the whitelist out Wednesday and the public sales goes on sale Friday. Whitelist just means that you can buy into the project without having to pay the network fees, which can be a lot when there are a lot of people in the network, right? Free mint just means that all you have to pay are the network fees. So thankfully for the pre-list, if you're there early, there will be maybe 1,000 people, 100 people, 600 people buying like at a time, right? And it'll be kind of spaced over time up until the public sale. But that's much better than having like 400,000 or 500,000 people try and click and buy on a thing, therefore jamming up the network, and therefore fees are greater. So it's a whole loop. Just know whitelist does not mean free mint. Free mint does not mean whitelist. They can operate within themselves. Trust folks with caution. That's just kind of, just don't go throwing all your eggs in a basket. Do some due diligence, do your research, protect your password and seed phrase, and just, watch out for people throwing out scams or just stuff that looks too close to other big projects and stuff. Those are called derivatives. Just be careful. Now, again, I'm not going to say it anymore, but I'm going to say it again. Do your own research. You got to research more. This is what it takes. This is a new topic. This is a new world. There are people and organizations and everybody that from the old World Wide Web, Web 2 as it's called, they're coming into Web 3, right? So you're going to need to know, like, what are they doing here? You know how they operated before. You know what Instagram was doing before, but what are they trying to do in a decentralized space? And are they really trying to keep it decentralized? These are the types of things you need to be aware of, right? So also whale watching, whales. If you play any digital games, usually like in MMOs or like stuff like that, you'll get whales. You get the people who are able to drop $5, $6, $7, $10,000 on these randomized drops. It's crazy how similar that is to NFTs. On these randomized drops where you can get awesome stuff, right? But you got to put in the money. So it's a gamble in that sense. But what's key for us is, being that blockchain technology is so transparent, we can go to a Twitter page with the person who owns like 10 or 5 Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. We can go to their OpenSea account where the marketplace is where they bought those. We can click on the image. We can see how many they have. We can see whatever else they bought in the world. This is useful information. Why? Because these people have their finger on the pulse. These people have the means to sway the market. These people also have a lot of liquidity, right? So that means if you're an artist, you're a creator, it's also somebody to be looking at because they may want to collect your work. Maybe you make really cool fruit style beanies, and all they collect is NFTs of friggin' of their characters having fruits and bananas or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that may be your play. That may be the person to collect from you. Or if you like that type of stuff too, watch them. You know what I mean? So it's like you can watch the market, yes, but watch whales as well. Hop in some live streams. This is what this is about. Discord. This is about Twitter Spaces. This is about Clubhouse.com. This is about freaking Slack. Whatever space is good for you. Instagram feeds, Facebook feeds, lives, like whatever gives you a space to talk about and learn about these new projects and about yourself and about just Web3 in general. You should get involved. It's going to behoove you. It just will. You'll meet people. You'll get to network. You get to learn. This is also a part of that research, y'all. I'm talking about. So again, alpha is your friend. That good, fresh, new information. You want that. But again, you don't have to live by that. You can just say, okay, this will kind of give me a place where, okay, so it's coming in March. Maybe I know I need to save up. Maybe I know I need to flip a few NFTs. Maybe I need to work or something so that I can get in on this investment and get all the benefits that it has, right? So you kind of got to think about it like that. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm gonna pop in right now when it drops. Like, now you got to be thinking out ahead, and that's what these projects do. They let you know like 3 or 4 weeks ahead of time that, yo, we're gonna drop this stuff. This is the price. Get ready. Try and get on the public pre-sale list if you can. If not, don't trip because there's always someone selling it for below the normal entry point, like right after it hits the market, right? So right after the mint, which is the original, or right after the pre-sale is done, that's when it gets cheaper or more expensive. So you gotta keep your finger on the pulse there. Be a good person. Don't be horrible to people. Just golden rule, treat people how you would want to be treated. Be yourself and just don't be a jerk to people. They see that. Don't try and scam people. They see that. Don't be a narcissistic bugger. People see it. This is the internet here. Man, you ever heard of getting Twitter canceled? Bro, this is like that. It's real. So just be chill. Easy. So some lingo for y'all. Just like finally just kind of wrap it up. Pop it in. Okay, so lingo, sir. That's like sir with an I and her. Is a gender fluid way of saying what up. GM, GN, good morning, good night. Sometimes you can double them up. GM, GM. Yeah, I mean, so that's usually how people on Twitter, Discord, live spaces, they pop up into the digital world. Yo, GM, I'm up. You know what's cracking? Tweet me. That's what that means. ENS is an Ethereum name service, right? So that's right. This right here. So if I were to have jamjamart.eth, that would be where people, rather than having like a 14 to 20 letter string of characters, like 0x4123xpz9482, like whatever, you can buy, and some are free out there. You can buy your own domain name, and that way people can send you stuff. People can send you tips. They can send you NFTs. They can send you whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's a way to connect your wallet digitally. It's pretty awesome. Great shorthand. You'll see it a lot on Twitter as people's users' names, right? So What else we got? Friend. That's like a short in terms of friend. You know what I mean? It's just like, but it's more like a strangery friend. Like if I just seen your art on Twitter and I was like, oh, that's cool. What up, friend? You know what I mean? It's like that. I don't know you, but I'm coming with good vibes anyways. DYOR. Did I mention to do your own research? Get due diligent. Browse that internet. Read something. Watch YouTube. I don't know. Figure it out. DAOs. DAO. That means for decentralized autonomous organization. Basically, it means like my clubhouse came together and we got all this money and we're able to not only keep it decentralized, but the people who like kind of have more money, the people who buy in are able to make decisions about the community. That's basically how DAOs work, right? And the more governance tokens you have, sometimes the more say you have in a vote. Say if we were a DAO and we made hats, like Jam Art DAO, like, hey, what's the next hat color gonna be? Everybody who already owns like this banana token or what have you, they are entitled to vote and say, okay, well, we want a blue hat next, or we want a strawberry hat, whatever it may be. That's kind of how it works. Patience. It's not a new term, but it's so crucial. Just be patient. It's a fast moving world, but you can lose your money even faster. So just be aware of that. Airdrops are pretty cool. Airdrops is basically the idea of me sending you anything without you having to really do much. So say, for example, I won a giveaway. The owner of that NFT project gets my address, jamjamart.eth, for example. I send them that and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to airdrop, aka send you this picture of this whale here. Awesome. I didn't have to pay for it, nothing. Also, that works out like, say, if you are in a marketplace such as OpenSea, this is actually a real thing that happened, and you spend over 45 ETH over the course of like 6 months or whatever. What happened was OpenDAO and their SOS token, they were like, okay, well, we see that a bunch of people have spent like a lot of money on our marketplace. What we're going to do is we're going to airdrop them this token, which they can use to do whatever else they want to. They can use it for staking, however, or just make it liquid and turn it into cash. That's an airdrop too. Yes, minting, mint. Think about like mint condition. So you go get some J's, you get some Jordans from Foot Locker. Ain't nobody wearing them yet. Nobody. They may have a defect in them. What you gonna do? You just dropped 175 on it. You could take them back, but not here in crypto world. You can't take that shit back. You gotta resell it. But when you're minting something, that means the collection is fresh. That means ain't nobody got one yet. And that means there's probably not one like it. Usually we see minting happening in the collections of about like 1,000 and up. And that way you'll see that, okay, there's 10,000 variations. You mint 4, you only have like 4 of the possible like millions of variations like that are actually submitted. There's only 10,000 actual there. There's millions of possibilities. You only got like 4 of them, right? So, and with that, there comes rarity. So when you mint and get it in mint condition, you could have a one that's at the bottom of the totem pole, but look cool. You could have one at the top of the totem pole, but look just like weird, you know what I mean? And not really be aesthetically pleasing. So when you mint something, it just means that you're getting it straight off the press. You got it straight from the wallet of the creator and that project team, right? And so that's how they do it. They have a wallet set up full of NFTs, and then when the mint happens, people are able to buy from that wallet, but they get a random NFT, right? And so the more you buy, the higher chance you have of getting a better NFT, and therefore the resale and value is higher, right? And that's where whales come into play, because they buy the crap out of NFTs. The random one with like the random duck with an eye patch that like is like the lowest on the rank, doesn't matter. They're minting 10 at a time, and then they're gonna flip them, right? So it's a lot of strategy here, but the key is minting is getting it fresh off the press. Boom. Roadmaps. What are roadmaps? Roadmaps are basically business plans. Now roadmaps can be under promising, underwhelming. Some can be simple. Some can be just like, yo, we're here to trade art. Some people are like, yo, we got a whole plan. We're gonna donate. We're gonna add in some game features. We're gonna have you stake and like earn coins on your NFT. We're gonna friggin' drop some merch. Whatever. You know, it's cool. Just read through it. See if their roadmap and their business plan is worth it for you. And if you think you're gonna agree with it, tight. You know, you should totally invest in it. Not financial advice, but like that's how I would think about it. Like, is it just a copy and paste from another bigger project? Maybe something to think about. But if that's the case, that's where coming in and doing your research comes into play. Because if you've already read 3 or 4 roadmaps in a day, you already know like, oh well, if they're gonna build their Twitch stream out, their Twitter fan base, and then they're gonna launch their first generation, and then they're gonna like make some merch. Like, how many times have you seen that within the past hour you've been researching? Probably a lot. It's pretty common. So don't get attached to roadmaps, and don't get attached to the idea that like, don't get married to these coins and to these NFTs, right? Like, again, so just make sure you're investing in stuff that you would actually be okay with going to zero. And if you're not, you are not a skilled enough trader yet, and just don't even go there. So start small, research it up, have some fun, find some friends. And that's the last part. You're gonna want to be a good person, but you also want to just find a community. You don't have to do anything really. Just be a person, be yourself, talk about what you like, talk about what you don't like in a respectful manner. Like, just be a person and engage with other people, and you'll be fine. And people will like your project, they'll like your energy, or they won't, and you'll figure it out. But I think you got this. Web3 is showing me that if you're a good person, and if that you put in the work, and if you want to connect, yo, good things will come to you. And I've seen it time and time again. It just takes a little bit of patience. It takes a lot of good work and a lot of research and a lot of understanding, like where your emotions are and what your limits are, right? So I'm thankful that I've learned that, and I'm thankful I've been able to share that with y'all. So again, infinite gratitude for y'all. Thank you for watching. Please go visit my website right now, jamjamart.net. I got all my art there that I can manage to fit on the web. I got a gang of it that's not on there, but that doesn't matter. You should go to my website today, look at some art, listen to some music, check out my NFT collection and galleries, check out my murals. I'm doing all types of cool stuff, and follow me on Instagram at jamjamart, and follow me on Twitter at jamstarx. And it has been real. Thank y'all so much. Happy traveling through this cryptoverse. I'll see you soon. Peace.